happy to join you tonight and to talk about something that I know a lot of you who are content creators want to know about, which is getting corporate deals. And some of you might be a little bit shocked about the emphasis that I want to place on my talk for tonight, because it's not just about getting deals, it's about getting the right deal. So I actually want to highlight the power of saying no and talk to you a little bit about why you would want to say no. So let me start by making sure first that we got the right screen on here. Let me start by telling you a little bit about my corporate deals. I've had my business since 2003. Let me go back an extra decade. I was trying not to date myself too much there, but no, since 2003. And I get a lot of corporate deals. I'm very fortunate and blessed that over the last almost 15 years, a huge part of my business model has been a B2B model. I get a lot of stuff from consumers and retail and all that good stuff too. However, I get sponsorships, I get TV deals, commercials, advertising, bulk book sales, whole host of corporate deals. And again, it's good. It's good money, and it's a great financial blessing to me, especially because I get to connect with a lot of brands that I feel I can get behind and support. So here's a quick highlight of some of the corporate partners that I've teamed up with over the years. Everything from Israeli tech companies and startups like SodaStream and Mobileye. Anybody know about Mobileye? Autonomous driving vehicles, that kind of stuff. To banks like Chase, Capital One, insurance companies, wireless telephone companies, retailers like Walmart, etc. Whole host of stuff that I'm not listing here, but I'm just kind of giving you some highlights. So having said that, some of you I know are wondering about the sort of $64,000 question, which is, okay, how do I get a gig like that? How can I get six-figure deals, hefty five-figure deals? Some of you might be saying, can I get a four-figure deal? Can I just get any deal? But I don't want you to think about trying to necessarily emulate or replicate what I do, although I'm going to tell you what I do. I really want to highlight the reasons why you should think about either saying yes to a deal and getting a deal or saying no. So I'm going to be very candid and tell you how we get our deals. A huge part of it is by being a magnet, is by attracting the type of clients that I want and pretty much saying no to the kind of stuff that I don't want. So we're very strategic about the way in which we position me in the media, online, on social, in the consumer market, in live events, etc. And we employ a strategy that we call virtual Lynette. And by we, I mean my very large company of two, my husband and I. So my husband, Earl Cox, is my agent and business manager. But virtual Lynette is a strategy where I try to be ubiquitous. I'm everywhere. And so you should look up, and you should have seen me last week or last month, or you should have, heard me quoted somewhere, or you should know my name, hopefully, or something. But the idea behind virtual Lynette is the more visible you are, the more a brand is likely to want to partner with you. And there has to be a whole bunch of other fits, and it has to make sense and all that other stuff too. But the way virtual Lynette works in practice is on the TV side, for example, if you were watching TV this last month, this is just April, you saw me on CNBC with Becky Quick. You saw me on the Dr. Oz show. I do Dr. Oz every single month. I'm his money expert. You saw me last week on the Today Show with Kathy Lee and Hoda. That was April. That was just 1 month, and that was just 3 of the national highlights. But we try to put virtual Lynette into play so that every time somebody's looking up, they're like, I see her everywhere. That's the kind of idea behind it. Online, the exact same thing. You should be able to be very easily found. Not just your company, you personally, you, the brand you. So on my site, on AskTheMoneyCoach.com, which has evolved, but it started off as a 100% free financial advice blog, and still is 90% free. I have over 1,600 articles that I've written online in 26 categories of personal finances. And so I'm very searchable, and I can't tell you how many corporate deals I've gotten because somebody found me because their PR firm or their marketing firm or, the outreach team that was tasked with handling something needed an expert in a certain category, wanted someone authoritative, someone who had expertise, who had written about, spoken about, wrote a book about, whatever, X topic. that fit with their mission, their brand, their product, or their service. They find me a lot organically through search through my own articles on my website. It helps that I've written 12 books. He mentioned I have a New York Times bestseller called Zero Debt, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Freedom. You search me up on Google, you're going to find not only my own articles, but stuff that I've written when I was a Wall Street Journal reporter, stuff that, I've been quoted in for USA Today or Forbes or CNN Money or Pittsburgh Post-Gazette or whatever you name it. So if you're trying to land corporate deals, it definitely helps for you, your name, etc., to be very searchable, obviously. However, I'm very fond of the Flight Deals motto. And I don't know if anybody, you guys subscribe to the Flight Deal? Everybody should know about Flight Deal. How much money people in here. TheFlightDeal.com, by the way, free site. I encourage you to sign up if you travel at all. They give you bargains, send you an email every day, domestic and international travel deals, rock bottom bargain, basement prices. However, their motto is just because it's a great fare doesn't mean it's a great deal. And the same thing holds true with corporate deals, because just because it's a lot of money or it seems like a lot of money or it's a great money doesn't mean it's a good deal. So there's a lot of times when, in my opinion, you should say no. And so I'm going to share with you again in the maybe 7 minutes I have left, sort of why I say no to various deals. And maybe you can take some insights from that and understand how it can actually benefit your brand and benefit you in so many ways. So first off, I say no when a brand wants me on the cheap. This picture you see is Chris Rock, the comedian. And let me just pause for a moment on this and just linger here a minute, because this is a really key strategy. We again being my husband and I, we talk often about the one rib strategy. And again, before Chris Rock was as super famous as he is right now, he was in a movie a long, long time ago called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. You guys remember that? Okay. So, for those who don't know, quick 30-second spiel, he walks into a rib joint and says, "Oh, I want some ribs. How much for those ribs?" And the guy goes, $2.50. And Chris Rock says, "Oh, so how many ribs are in the thing?" He says, "About 5. And Chris Rock goes, "Oh, so, okay, that's 50 cents each, right?" He said, "Okay, I'll take one." And the guy says, he said, "That's about 50 cents each." And the guy goes, "Yeah, roughly about." And Chris Rock says, "I'll take one." The guy yells in the back, "One order of ribs." And then Chris Rock goes, No, not one order, just one rib. I just want one rib, 50 cents. And the guy's like, "What? Are you crazy?" They had this argument. Chris Rock goes, "Well, what about a soda? How much is soda?" And the guy goes, $1. It's $1. If I just have a sip, can I pay 13 cents for just one sip? And the guy's looking at him like, "Get the heck out of here." And honestly, sometimes when a lot of brands approach me, that's how I feel. I'm like, they're asking for something, a part of the whole. They're asking for something that I don't sell. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. How much is it for just one tweet? Just for one post? Just for one Facebook? No, actually, I don't sell it like that. I don't, if you want to work with me, you really want to work with me, don't come to me talking about one rib, okay? So, in general, for me, when companies say, and again, I'm sure many of you have heard this, and any brands in the room, Fidelity, thank you so much for your sponsorship. I know you guys don't do this. But sometimes brands will say, we're doing this influencer campaign, or we're doing this blogger campaign, and we have 25 bloggers in the big roundup. And I'm like, no, that's not for me. 25 other people can do as they please. Come to me when you want a high-level campaign. Come to me when you want national media exposure. Come to me when you need a prominent speaker in a live setting, or, someone of my caliber. But no, I really don't do blogger campaigns. So I just say no, okay? I also say no when the money just isn't sufficient for me. Now, this is different. This is not the one rib strategy. I didn't get to tell you about the Chris Rock ending there, because in the end, sorry, I missed the punchline here. So in the end, he's counting like coins, trying to, get this on the cheap. Then he takes out this huge wad of cash and says, "Can you break the $100 bill?" And the guy's looking at him like, "What?" Like, you have all this money and you're trying to, get this one rib on the cheap. So the one rib strategy, frequently, it's like a company that actually does have the money, but they just don't want to pay, or they don't want to pay you. And that's not the opportunity for me, okay? So this kind, when it's simply not enough money, is something different. This is what I'm saying. A company has actually negotiated with you in good faith. Maybe because of budget constraints or restrictions or whatever, this is the best that they can offer you. And for whatever reason, you feel it's not enough value for your services. this happens to me frequently. Hachette offered me, I've been offered multiple book deals that I've turned down. Hachette offered me a book deal for $35,000. I said, among other things, it wasn't enough money. There was rights issues. There was an option clause that I didn't want to agree to. There was a whole bunch of other stuff. But I was like, really? $35,000? No, thank you, but no. HarperCollins offered me $135,000 for another separate book deal. Some other kookiness, in my opinion, along with that deal. I said no to it. So sometimes the money just isn't right, and you should be okay. And I know everybody can't just say, okay, well, I'm just going to walk away from this deal, but you definitely want to get to that point where you don't feel beholden to a company and have to do something just for the money. That includes TV, what a lot of you I know consider to be kind of the holy grail. So many people would love to be on TV. They would love their own show, blah, blah, blah. I got an offer for a show on Fine Living. I think they still are around. This was years ago, honestly. And they offered me what I consider a lowball offer, $2,000 an episode. And I was like, are you crazy? You know, more or less, that was kind of my attitude. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, that's not enough money. And just, no, for the work that I'm going to do and what I'm, no. It wasn't, I wasn't rude like that. The gist of it was no. And they were like, well, we'll show on TV every week. I was like, I'm already on TV every week. I don't really need a show for that. You can pay me, though, and that would be a good starting point. So knowing when to say no because it's a lowball offer is kind of art and science. You have to know your pricing and where you stand in the marketplace, and you have to have a good sense of what your peers are getting paid, etc. But maybe you don't get a lowball offer. I also say no when I'm not going to be happy doing something. I had an offer to do, of all things, for a good pricing, a price that I would have done it for. Initially, $10,000 an episode. I turned it down. They came back and said $20,000 an episode, but I turned it down because it was Wife Swap. Okay? And I don't know, again, if you guys remember Wife Swap, and the premise behind it, you switch these two families, and in the end, both of the mamas look crazy, okay? So I was like, no, I'm not messing with my brand. But beyond that, my husband was like, I want you to be over there with some man's house, and I don't want that woman over here. And I was like, this is going to cause all kind of craziness in our house. No. And for anybody who's ever done reality TV, and I've done some other reality TV, it's not so real. So anyway, but if I'm not going to be happy, the bottom line, or it's going to cause any kind of turmoil in my household, no, not worth it. I also say no when it's something that could obviously hurt my brand or potentially even hurt consumers. This literally happened to me last week. So I, through a host of circumstances, went into negotiations with a company very quickly. They offered me initially a mid-5-figure deal to do, frankly, what was very little work for me. They were going to do something in TV, and all I would have to do is license them some of my content from a book and let them show my image. And we were like, easy money, great, we're going to take this deal. We got into negotiations. They sent us a contract. My husband was like, did you see the name of the company that they put on the contract here? It was a different name, slightly different than what we had originally talked to the folks about. It was a space that I had never done any work in, and I, in all honesty, only more or less cursorily kind of vetted this company. So what was a red flag for him was that they had so many clauses in there that were talking about don't bash us during or after the campaign. Now, if you know anything about corporate deals, that's not uncommon. Companies don't want to pay you and then later see you badmouthing them. That's not a problem. But it was so many places where this was. It raised a red flag. So we did more searching under the new name, and then they upped their offer. They were trying to get us to a nice six-figure deal, maybe because they knew we were getting cold feet, and we just had to turn it down. We just had to say, this is not an area where I can be remotely associated. Lawsuits, consumer problems, all kind of drama that would not at all been worth it to risk my rank. So had to say no to that. When deals potentially can conflict with existing customers, especially your long-term customers, trust me when I say in the long run, it's not worth it. All the quick money, the nice deals that, seem like, oh, great. But if they're going to be so competitive with another client you've been working with for years, I feel personally that it's better to have sort of category exclusivity around an area if you align yourself or partner with a brand. And in that way, frankly, I've had many long-term relationships for years and years, like 10 years or more. So for me to get a $50,000 check or something just for a one-time deal is not worth it if it's going to jeopardize a client that's done many hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business with me over the years. Okay? Anytime my independence or autonomy is at stake, I'm going to say no. If they push back a little too hard on something, at the end of the day, I'm an entrepreneur for a reason. I like and value and jealously guard my autonomy, and in all of our agreements, we pretty much have a clause, we call it the for the avoidance of doubt clause. It pretty much says, for the avoidance of doubt, nothing in this contract shall restrict talent / spokesperson from doing the following. And then we list the whole laundry list of things that I still want freedom to do. To be on air, to sell my books, to be online, to if I'm asked on air about even a competitor, to give my honest opinion, those kinds of things. In other words, we tell corporate America, thank you very much for the check, but you don't own me. Okay? So that's just me. Now, why would I turn down so much deal? Why would I say no? Honestly, I can tell you unequivocally, 70% of the time that I flat out say no, either for any of those reasons that I said, the same companies come back and either offer more money, offer better terms, or other opportunities come along that I'm like, thank you, God, I'm so glad I didn't get tied up in this other deal. So it gives me, frankly, the ability to have better deals, more quality deals, to be in control, to have a lot more leverage in my negotiations, to maintain my independence, as I said, and less drama, less issues and problem clients and all that other good stuff. Ultimately, me saying no and being okay with saying no, and frankly kind of frequently saying no, was the single best thing I ever did, personally and professionally, because it actually led to my biggest deal ever. So when I was a Wall Street Journal reporter for CNBC, I mentioned that I started my company in 2003. Literally, March 1st, 2003 was my last day on air at CNBC. I was fired, not just me, but me and 200 other people. They couldn't afford us. It was all the six-figure wage earners, and corporate revenues were down and advertising was down. So they said, sorry, you guys can't do anymore. You got to go buy. So when I left at CNBC, my last day there was March 1st. That same month, I didn't waste any time. I started my company in March 2003. I had an offer in late 2002 from John Wiley & Sons, the book publisher, and they offered me $20,000, which I was actually perfectly fine to accept at the time, for my very first book, Investing Success. Charles Schwab looked forward to the book. I had known him through my Wall Street Journal and CNBC days as a reporter, and the book actually wound up doing very well, but I decided to publish the book. I started my own company in the wake of my downsizing. I started Advantage World Press, the publishing arm, and I ended up turning Wiley down. Well, their marketing manager, a woman named Michelle Patterson, thank you very much, Michelle Patterson, wherever you are today, she said, you're a very smart woman. I see you know a lot about investing in personal finance, but you don't know a daggone thing about book publishing. You know what? We had a guy who was with us for 10 years. He ran national sales accounts and blah, blah, blah. He's a consultant. He has his own company now. You should go meet him. Here's his card, his number. His name is Earl Cox. And so me saying no ultimately led to me saying yes to the biggest deal of all. You can call it a corporate merger if you want to. You can call it, I don't know. But together, my husband and I have made millions of dollars. I mean, we've done extremely well. Our 10th year of, this year, 7/7/17, is our 10-year anniversary, our wedding anniversary. Not our corporate business merger, but we actually started working together in late 2003, 2004. But I can tell you that it's not always easy to know when to say yes and when to say no, but the blessings that you get, the good fortune that you get, the benefits are many, whether it's leverage and additional time, focused concentration on the deals that matter, or ultimately, like in my case, love and happiness and a good happily ever after ending. It's sometimes actually very much worth it to say no. Thank you very much.